San Diego Unified After-School programs provide students with fun and engaging learning environments. Food is fuel for the minds and bodies of our students. San Diego Unified Food and Nutrition Services wants to ensure students are getting the energy they need to succeed while following government meal guidelines. During food service, there are two signs that must be posted at all times. The Justice for All poster must be posted where meals are served. The current supper menu must be posted in the food service area where it can be seen by both students and the public. As soon as supper staff arrives to work, they should conduct a quick inventory of food and milk items to ensure there are enough items to adequately serve students. If the inventory is not adequate, Prep Kitchen staff should be notified immediately by phone and/or email so they can make adjustments for the following day. Before any food handling occurs, all employees must wash their hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds. Just before food service is to begin, staff should set up a buffet-style service line. Entree items should be placed at the front of the service line, followed by the side items and milk. Staff should make sure all items are visible and within reach of students. Napkins and utensils should be provided as well. Once the buffet is ready, students may line up for service. Supper meals are served using the offer versus serve procedure. The goals of offer versus serve are to reduce food waste in school meal programs and to permit students to decline foods they do not intend to eat. Supper meal service follows the Child and Adult Care Food Programs guidelines, widely known as CACFP. The CACFP requires that 5 meal components are offered to all students daily. The 5 components consist of milk, meat alternates, vegetables, fruits, and grains. In order to count as a reimbursable meal, students must take at least 3 of the 5 components offered. It is important to note that some entree items count as 2 components, both a grain and a meat alternate. For example, on this supper menu, the turkey sandwich counts as 2 meal components. To make a complete meal, a student who takes a turkey sandwich will only need to take 1 other menu item to equal the minimum 3 required components. It is also important to note that some items must be taken together to equal 1 meal component. For example, on the supper menu, the hummus dipper and cheese and the Trix yogurt and cheese must be taken together to equal 1 meat alternate component. If these items are taken together, a student will also need to take at least 2 other menu items to equal the minimum 3 required components. The supper menus provided will have a separate meal component equivalent column that displays the number of meal equivalents per menu item or items offered. Students do not have to take all 5 components offered. However, all 5 components must be available to every student in the food service line. If all 5 items are not available to all students, contact the Prep Kitchen regarding the food items that were depleted early. Paperwork will be provided with the food delivery. The paperwork provided includes a food-based production report and a tally sheet. There are 6 sections of the food-based production report supper site staff is responsible for filling out. These 6 areas are: number 1, total number of suppers offered to students. Number 2, total number of students served complete meals. Number 3, student offered servings. Number 4, number of servings left over. Number 5, actual student servings. And number 6, signature of supper staff member who filled out the report. More detailed instruction for filling out the food-based production report can be found at the bottom of the sample form provided to supper staff. The tally sheet is used to record reimbursable complete meals taken by students. A completed tally sheet includes the supper site, a signature of the supper staff member responsible for record keeping, the date, and the marked tally boxes. The employee designated to tallying meals must understand what counts as a complete meal. Immediately after each student takes a complete meal, the meal must be marked on the tally sheet. After supper service, put the completed production report and tally sheet in a clear sheet protector and place with the food container that is returned to the prep kitchen. San Diego Unified's Love Food, Not Waste program aims to keep food out of the landfills. There are many components to the program. For supper serving staff, the focus is on food share and recovery. Share tables are tables in common eating areas where students can place their unwanted, unopened food items. The food items are then available for other students to take. Allow students to take one vegetable, fruit, or grain item from their own meal or from the share table to eat off-site at a later time. As soon as possible after service, place unopened, undamaged, perishable items back inside the cooler food was originally sent in. Include all perishable food items from the share table as well. Place all unopened, undamaged, shelf-stable food items back into the food container or bag the food was originally sent in and place on top of the cooler. Include all non-perishable food items from the share table as well. Leftover food items will then be collected by the kitchen staff the following morning. Do not save any opened food items or food items with compromised packaging. If in doubt, throw it out. This concludes our San Diego Unified Food and Nutrition Services supper program video. Thank you for your important role in feeding the minds and bodies of our students.